Hi guys, it is Fontaine Felicia Foxworth back, and I'm out on my porch in the beautiful 70-degree weather that we are being blessed with in Atlanta. And I wanted to make a quick video about my download I received about the Super Bowl. Um, so I worked the whole weekend, and just from my communication with people who pick me up in my Lyft drives, um, and just seeing for myself, the city was not as packed as it was expected. Like the anticipation was just building and building and building for this huge Super Bowl energy, and it definitely did not deliver. The city was not as jam-packed, traffic dense, and it wasn't what I thought and what many people thought. Okay, so the energy of the folks that were partaking, they weren't even very, like, you know what I mean? And I'm used to Super Bowls being the highlight, of the year in our world, in our country anyway. But the energy just did not feel the same way. All right, so on a 3D level, it could be maybe I don't know nothing about football, but I don't know if the two teams weren't the teams that wanted to be seen, or or people hope to be, made it into the Super Bowl. I don't know, Patriots versus Rams. I don't know if maybe it was because of the Colin Kaepernick. I don't know if maybe it was because of the Colin Kaepernick fiasco. You know what I mean? And all that controversy that led to just the lowest ratings in 10 years for the NFL. I don't know what any of the 3D reasons are, but on a 5D level or perspective, I truly believe that it's because normally the Super Bowl is like a beacon for Americans and in American history. Football, all the sports, to be honest. But the Super Bowl, there's something about that Super Bowl. It's like a goddamn holiday. Okay, people really go over and beyond. There are sales dedicated to Super Bowl. Commercials dedicated to Super Bowl. So it's a big thing. I think that something has collectively shifted when it comes to the human psyche and conditioning around the Super Bowl, and maybe away from the distraction that it really is. At the end of the day, companies spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on these over-the-top, exclusive, celebrity-filled, cameo, pushed Super Bowl commercials. All this money spent around this time, and it just seems like it was lackluster this time around. I think that this year, the energy most definitely seems a little bit less exciting. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because I'm a light worker and I really don't care for a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world to begin with. But it's not just even me. It's not just even people who have already awoken. I think it's even people who are sleeping, who have started to kind of separate themselves from what the NFL stands for, what it means based on its actions in the past, based on its disregard for social injustices. I think that people, sleeping or awake, I think that people are starting to really align with their greatest truths or their values, their morals, what it is that they stand for, and starting to see through the illusion and the facade of things like the Super Bowl, y'all, in this country. So from that perspective, I think all the political fuckery that has happened with the NFL has turned a lot of people off, and people are just not supporting it because they just feel like it's not right. All right? There is a lot of darkness that the Super Bowl holds. At the end of the day, it is what it is from a higher perspective. And it holds this darkness within capitalism, within the matrix, within this prism, within the recreational, political distractions that keep us away from uncovering truth. Everything is connected, y'all. You know, and things as influential and huge as the Super Bowl, you best to believe it. Um, you know, I think that the powers that be are losing control. And so the old paradigm ways of controlling humanity, controlling the collective consciousness and psyche through sports and through award shows and through a whole bunch of stuff, it's just starting to crumble at the foundation. It's starting to fall apart. Okay? There's so much light hitting the world, hitting the earth right now from not only, you know, from not only the awakening, but just as many light workers that are holding light, as much truth is being pushed through our society and being pushed around through the, you know, the blessing and the curse that is social media. I think that it's just exposing so much shit, and regardless of whether you are sleeping or awake, you pick up on it and you know it. Okay? I think that the powers that be are truly losing grasp, y'all. The powers that be are truly losing grasp, even on the consciousness of people still plugged in. And that's crazy, you know, because that's what was running this world and painting these lies and inserting all of this illusion into our consciousness. And now they can't even hold that within the matrix, within the people who are still plugged in. They hurting, y'all, at the end of the day. And I truly believe that it's because of the void, because of the lack of light within the matrix and within of the powers that be, the disconnection from source. They have to now go lower. They have to spiral lower. They got to try to control human beings and control the psyche and condition people from an even denser, lower polarity that I didn't even think was possible. But when you become desperate, when you are void of light, you have to keep parasitically holding on to darkness. This is what you must do. I believe that in order to continue this 3D cycle, the powers that be can't use things like the Super Bowl anymore. They need something even more powerful, or maybe perhaps more influential. I think they have to dig deeper into darker plans, dig deeper into heavier plans to control and maintain enslaved humanity. I don't think the sports and the music and the recreational things and the viral memes and I don't think that that's enough anymore to keep people stuck in vibrating one way. My theory is that this is the beginning of a major shift for 3D consciousness, for 3D illusion and control, because the executors of this matrix, they're realizing, and pretty quickly realizing, that the consciousness of human beings and mankind, the son of man, whatever you want to call it, it's evolving, y'all. It's growing. It's becoming more powerful. Collectively, we are ascending. The dark forces understand that, and I think what's happening is that they're going to have to just stop fighting that and start working with what they got. They're going to have to start working with what they have at this point. And what they have at this point are the souls that do not want to wake up at this time, that they can sucker in and bring them into their downward spiral into an even denser 3D frequency here on planet Earth. So I think that this is going to begin with the transhumanist movement. I know that I have spoken about this before, the whole idea of a cyborg humanity in some other future dystopian timeline. I do believe that it's coming. I do believe that this is the beginning of it. At the end of the day, even sleeping people are feeling the light within themselves, and they are finding the light there that pulls them away from the matrix, even if they haven't woken up. And this is what is bound to happen. So, I do believe that because the Matrix itself and the executives of the Matrixes they're so disconnected from source, what they need to do is to create a container or create a bubble or create the 3D earth that the planet is going to descend into even further, where people are even that much more disconnected from source in the divine. So how do you do this? You integrate technology. You integrate artificial intelligence into our beingness, into our minds, into our physical vessels. Okay? You start removing reproductive organs. All right? You start making people get chips implanted within their skin so they can do everything with a chip. You start literally controlling human beings even further than they have been consciously with our belief systems and religions and political affiliations and blah, blah, blah. Now you got to get into the human body and start creating these cyborg human beings. That is my theory that resonates with me real heavy, y'all. So at the end of the day, the Matrix has to begin to control people on a deeper level, on a more integrated and more, literally, to be able to pull strings more. It is what it is. They need to do this so that going forward into this future 3D hell, the human body is going to have to jump through even more hurdles to ascend with consciousness and move up into the 5D earth that everyone who's already awakened will be at. So Matrix is smart, and I said that in my first video. Smart, so this is what they have to, this is their last resort. So the goal here is to further disconnect people from source, from Christ consciousness, from the universe, from Mother Earth, from what's natural, to further alienate these souls on a physical level so that they cannot ascend. Okay? I think that at the end of the day, y'all, we are so lucky. In this golden age of Aquarius, in this robust awakening movement that's happening, we made it. But there will be souls who will not make it and will end up transitioning into the next phase of this 3D matrix, which is artificial intelligence, which is making it harder for the vessel to connect naturally, through oneness, through the flesh, through the vessel. So that is what I am thinking. We are lucky, y'all. We are literally freeing ourselves on a physical level to let our oversouls take the lead and take control so that we can raise our frequency and be able to inhabit New Earth, inhabit planet Earth at a higher frequency. We don't have to vibrate lower and lower into this matrix where the powers that be are more desperate than they ever have been and now have to step into a new paradigm which is lower than ours. Okay? We are so lucky that we get to continue to rise and live in this beautiful earth as we were supposed to, back in that Garden of Eden that switched up and switched around and, the lies that we hear. So that is my download when it comes to the Super Bowl, and why it doesn't feel as exciting, and why collectively human beings sleeping or awake are just kind of losing that pull and losing that matrix alluring that. And ultimately that's why I think whether you are sleeping or you're awoke. Ultimately I think that's why whether you are sleeping or you are awake, there's just certain things that we are just moving away from, and it is what it is. So thank you for watching. I hope that, my download about the Super Bowl and about the Matrix losing its grasp resonates with y'all. And stay tuned for more videos and for some more updates about Soul Tribe Network. Thank you guys.